Yeah, sorry. Anyway, we have discussed about brief introduction about myself and then who should attend these courses. And after attending this course, what will be gaining? So basic technical knowledges and basic and advanced concepts and good in all the development objects so that you can work independently. So most importantly, the mastery in debugging and troubleshooting, and you should be also be good in enhancements. Basically, SAP is provided as standard programs and standard objects. So those you should be able to enhance it independently wherever the SAP is provided feasibility to enhance it. And understanding one more thing is like there are many people who are difficult to understand the existing SAP code. So that will make you too comfortable in understanding the existing code after completing of this course. And other than this, as I told, like you can also work independently any kind of projects. So we'll be discussing more about what are the different types of projects, what is your role, what are the documents you'll be expecting from different people like team lead, functional consultant, and what you expected, what is your responsibilities also we'll be discussing as part of different project. And what are the prerequisites? Basically, when you say prerequisites, to learn ABAP, I don't see any much prerequisites, but at least some minimum communication skills, and then little bit of programming. Even if you're not aware, also we can still gain. So then keeping in mind that nobody knows anything. So in that aspects, we'll be learning everyone. So in this demonstration, what we are going to discuss. So we are going to discuss what is ERP, what are the different vendors who provides this ERP softwares, and what are the different products SAP has given in the market, and what are the different modules in SAP, types of projects, what are the different users, and briefly about what is the R3 architecture and application server architecture, and later we'll discuss what are the differences between ABAP and HANA. So that is the goal of this discussion. And when you are trying to understand what is ERP, before that you should also need to understand what is non-ERP. So when you say non-ERP, so it is nothing but a distributed systems. So when we go for any of the company or any of the enterprise organization where you will have different departments, and each different departments will be having their own databases and your own applications. So that time, if any sales is created in the sales department, so production people will not be aware how much the sales we have to, I mean how much products we have to produce it, and material department will not be aware how much raw material should be provided to the production department, and what is the transaction happened in sales department, or what are the raw materials given from the purchase department, or how many people attended that production activity. So that all the transactions will not be aware by the accounting department also, if it is a non-ERP system, because this all the databases are independent each other, so they are not connected to each other. So that's why this is a little bit slower in slower process. And when it comes to the ERP system, so each and every applications, either it can be a sales application or purchasing application, production application, finance department applications, all are interlinked to each other with one database tape. I mean, one database. So because of this, if any sales created, let's say they need 10 laptops, so 10 laptop sales orders created in the database table, immediately the production people can easily understand, okay, they need, okay, 10 laptops maybe in next 3 days. So what are the like necessary materials required to create a 10 laptops, so that we can request it to the immediately when purchasing department easily check it, okay, how much sale is required in next 3 days, so that many raw materials they have to provide it to the production team. So each department will be able to access the required details. Okay, required for the production is how much I have to produce in next 3 days. Required for the materials or purchase department is how much raw materials I have to give it to the production department. So similarly for every departments interlinked each other, means connected to each other. So that's why the every production or the sales activities will be much faster in the ERP system. So this is about what is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So when it comes to the enterprise resource planning, in the market there are many vendors, means like who are given software for ERP. When you come to the ERP software, let's say SAP is a market leader in the current market. So Oracle is also providing the ERP software, even Microsoft is providing, and many other vendors are also there. So we have just given a three comparison between these three vendors. So when you see the market share, SAP has the highest share, more than 20%. Oracle is 13%, Microsoft is 9%. And also you can see here what is the duration required to implement each of these ERP softwares. So around 20 months or 19 to 20 months, it is more than 2 years, 2 years. So when you see here, highest is disruption at go live. Disruption go live means it takes a lot of time to, one is configure. After configure, if something customization required, it takes more time in case of Microsoft ERP. But when it comes to the SAP, it little less the time required to customization. So comparing all these parameters, so SAP is good in market. And then when you choose SAP product, so there are many SAP softwares are there. Like means like the SAP is not one product; it has multiple products. When it comes to the ERP, enterprise resource planning, SAP's basic products it has, I mean applications it has given, such as material management, sales, distribution, and finance. So other than these three modules you want to connect, then we should have a separate box called CRM system where the customer relationship is happening. And this is not for all the customers. I mean, this is not for all the industry who will be implementing this CRM application. There are customers who only implement extended warehouse management because they will be monitoring or producing the products and maintaining in the warehouses. So they may not need much on marketing side where customer relationship is maintained. And there are people who are good in retail industry. They need to implement some oil and retail gases, oil and gas industries, or if you go for any of the retail servers, you can install it. So few of the products which SAP is releases in the market, these are the few well-known products. Other than this, so when you say SAP product naming conventions, there are three things. One is platform. Platform is nothing but we call it as a NetViewer 7.5, or and when it comes to system, even if you go for previously, the system is called ERP system, but we call ERP which version? ERP 6.0, ERP 7.4, 7.5, like that. There is a different version should be given for the systems. And in the same system, SAP every year releases some packages, means enhancement packages. Let's say then a group of customers requesting the same kind of customization every ticket. Okay, if there is any changes required in the standard code itself, that time SAP customers will request to SAP to create some nodes. We call it as SAP nodes. So that time, based on the maximum number of requests, so they will create their own package. So when they release this package, the remaining all customers can also install that package, so they can achieve the required functionality. So this will releases every year, enhancement packages. Okay, and then when it comes to the functional modules, so we are a technical consultant where we are going to learn SAP ABAP, and along with technical consultant, functional people are also be working. Functional people are basically the bridge between business and the technical consultant. Most of the time, 90% of the time, technical consultant will not be communicating with the business. Okay, so that will happen only through functional people. So there are many modules, means like we can consider each of the module as one department.
Hello.
Department. Yeah. Do you have any question? Hello. What level programming? We can discuss this after one or two slides. Okay, so you can ping your questions. We'll discuss each of the questions. And these, we can say these are different departments, and for each department, SAP has built a software. So finance department, FICO, and sales and distribution for sales department, material management for purchasing department, HCM for HR department, production planning for production department. So these are the different department, and from each department, one consultant will be there as a function consultant. So when customers are implementing a FI module, only the FI consultant from function module, function person will be working. So if you are like a functional consultant who will be working in QM module, you will not be involved in that project. But as a web consultant, the web consultant will involved in all the modules, irrespective of the type of modules which customer is implementing. So that is the main advantage as a technical consultant will be involving all the projects. So most of the requirement will be there for in all the projects for a web consultant. So what are the technical modules when it comes to the technical consultant? So basis is also technical part of technical consultant, security, ABAP, BI, BODS. So these are the few areas where technical people will be involving. But for each of these areas, like basis will be a separate consultant, security is again a different consultant. So when it comes to basis, the initial installment of the system and upgrading the system, when you are installing the service packs, that time also basis people will be involved. If you want to archive the tables which are crossing more than a memory, then that time basis consultant will also be involved. Security consultant will be used, like will be involved whenever based on the department they will create a different rules, and a particular people will be given a particular, I mean, restricted access to each of the user. So user controlled by the security people. For technical consultant is a web consultant, so that will be discussing through the course. BIBW, basically these people will be involved for most of the time the reporting aspects and data modeling. And then XI and PXI is a middleware, and HANA is again a database which SAP owned it. Okay, then different types of projects. So we'll be discussing each of one of the project later anyway. But in SAP will be having different types of one is implementation project where SAP the customers purchase SAP product. So in the beginning, that time they will go for implementation project because they never know what is SAP, what are the, because they might be using some non-SAP systems. So that time they will have to move all the data or the applications which are there in the non-SAP system to SAP system. That time they will go with the implementation project. So this is a little costlier for the customers because for every partner companies, partner in the sense who implements the SAP system to the customer other than SAP company. So those are called partner companies like TCS, Tech Mahindra, Cognizant. So those are the partner companies to SAP. So these people will be charging more in case of implementation project. So every hour they will be charging in case of implementation project. In case of support and maintenance, the cost of the consultant will be less. They will charge based on yearly for two consultants. This is the total cost. So support and maintenance project will be long-term project, but the profit for the companies will be less. Migration project, like you are moving from lower system, let's say SAP ECC 6.0 to 7.4, where you're getting better functionalities, better features, and like compared to previous system, this is the advanced system. So that time they were moving to migration project. So enhancement project is like the SAP solid, like people are already implemented the projects and they want to get some more extra law functionality. That time they will go for, they will create a change request. We call it as a CRs. By creating CRs, and they will implement in the enhancement project. So rollout project is nothing but let's say they have implemented for one particular customer. That customer is spread across multiple countries. They will implement first for, let's say, SAP implementation will happen for India plant. So then once it is implemented for India, they will roll out to the different countries, let's say US, UK, Canada. So this is nothing but a rollout projects. So these are the different types of project as a technical consultant involved. And then types of user, when you say, so there will be end users who will be using everyday day-to-day activities in order to update in the SAP system. So that is end users. For end users, above that there will be super users. We call them as business users. And these business users, they will be having much more authorization compared to the end users. And other than these users, there will be consultants. So these people will be having even modification of some of the table entries, and little bit for any modification required, we have to get approval from the business. So functional consultant, technical consultant, these four people mostly involved in all the changes required for the SAP software. So before going ahead, do we have any questions? So there are two things pending to discuss for today's topic. So one is R3 system and application architecture, and what is the difference between HANA and ABAP. So just wanted to check, do you have any questions to discuss till now? And if you have already pinged some of the people, what are the questions? Let me go through that. What level of programming knowledge is necessary for this? As I told, the programming knowledge, even if you are not aware, at least some kind of analytical skills required to, let's say you have resolved one of the issue and the similar kind of issues comes in different modules. So you should be able to tackle is nothing but analytical skills required. And one more thing is minimum communication language, like at least you should be able to interact with a functional consultant. Sometimes you need to give a demo after developing applications, so that conveyable communication is required. I think these two are enough like to start working as an independent ABAP consultant. Okay, any other questions? Hello? If no questions, let me proceed further. So SAP has developed this software based on the R3 architecture. So what is this R3 architecture? Is three-layer architecture. One is presentation layer. We call it as where we see the monitors. So through this monitor, end users or the users will be interacting with the SAP system. They might enter some data saying that I need these details. So input and some kind of input and interaction with the systems will be happening in the presentation layer. And in case of application layer, where the request, whatever users give, that request will be processed and performed in the application layer. Based on the process, if there is any data required to fetch from the database layer, okay, this is the database layer. So that data will be fetched and again formatted the data in order to display to the end presentation layer. So this is nothing but three-layer architecture where we'll be having presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Out of these three layers, as a technical consultant, we'll be working all three layers. When you see presentation layer, how the data should be displayed in the front end. For that, we have separate module ABAP. We call it as a dialog for a processor. I mean, dialog programming. We also call it as a module pool program. In application layer, in the basic modules or the topics, we call it as a rise up module. So rise up means reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, and forms. So all of these 5 areas will be working in the applications layer. When it comes to the database, we create a database using the data dictionary. So that is a different topic. Okay. So that is three-layer architecture. Again, this is application server architecture where we see this is the first part is the presentation layer. This is the application layer, database layer. Whenever the user gives some request, that request will come and come to the dispatcher. Dispatcher basically get the request and put it to the dispatcher queue. If no work processor is available, that request will be kept in the dispatcher queue. Once the processor is available, that request will be taken and sent to the dispatch, work processor. What is the use of work processor? Work processor is used to basically process the request which user is requested. So each of these work processor have different tasks. Let's say there are 5 different work processor. Basically, we have mentioned here 4, but there are 5. We call it as a DUBS, DUBS EMG. DUBS means D means dialog work processor, U means update work processor, B means background work processor. DUBS means S means spool work processor, E means and Q word processor, M means messages, and G means gateway. Okay, so there are different work processor will be there, and this work processor will be process that request which user is sent, and based on that, the request will be sent to the database layer, database table. Data will be fetch it and send back to the work processor, and again it will send it to dispatcher back to the presentation layer. So that is application layer architecture. We have a course content. So as I told, the course content, introduction, data dictionary. So I'll share this course content, each one of you go through it. And I have mentioned here some of the concepts related to the object-oriented programming. And this is most importantly database updates like last parchment tables and SAP locking. So this will be discussing. And other than this, anyway, this there is a three different major changes happened in the HANA. Because of that, HANA is much faster compared to the previous enterprise system. So that is one thing. So other than this, so we plan to discuss every day at 8 p.m. to 9:30. That is the plan from Wednesday onwards. And whoever attend this course will be getting, one is server access. The server can be like they will able to log in using SAP logon pad. So they will enter username, password, and they will log in it. Either you will get this access or you will get a remote desktop. Remote desktop will be like you need to enter MSTSC and give the IP address, and then you are able to log into the system S4 HANA. So any one of these will get it, because I have not discussed it the software providers. So this was, I got it from the previous batch. So here we'll be having SAP systems. Now we have three systems here. In these three systems, one is EC system and HANA 2020, HANA 2021. These three systems you can use it for everyday session, and if you do exercise, you can do it also. It's not mandatory that you have to work in all three systems. You can mostly will be working ECC first, because let's first understand what is ABAP, what is the basic concepts. Then we'll go with what is new in HANA. So that is one thing. And then where is this? Sorry, I'm not able to quote. So other than this, you will also get, let me exit this. Let me stop with sharing. Okay. So now if I share it again, why it is not coming? Hello? So you'll also getting SAP materials, where we'll get the press books and certification terms. So the certification is it's not my responsibility, but we'll be getting certification terms, and also you'll be getting SAP server access for next 3 months. And the course fee is totally 12,000. So first installment is 6,000, later it is 6,000. So let me know if you have any questions. I am not able to come out. Okay. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So this is what we have planned today, and let me know if you have any questions. How many message servers can a SAP system have? It depends. Message servers depends on the, because what happens in SAP, will be having a different T codes. So we'll be having a different application servers. So each of the servers will be connected with multiple message services. Okay, how many dispatch? It's not like 100% you have to have only 2 work processor, 10 work processor. There will be depends on the customer requirement. Okay, some customers will be having total altogether 21 work processor. Sometimes they will be having 18. Altogether, in the sense, let's say the 5 different types of work processor. Each of the work processor is 3, and some will be having 1 or 2. So together, it's not like 100% like a particular standard you have to follow. Okay, only 8 work processor, 10 work processor. It varies per person, like customer to customer. And you never will get this question in any of the interview, and you never got any of this question in certifications. Okay, and where is this? I have to come out of this. Any other question? So I was just wanted to check what are the materials here. So you will get this kind of Dropbox. Let's say when I come here, and in this Dropbox, you will get all the modules. Let's say in learning Dropbox, if you see. So in this Dropbox, for any of the module, you will get access to get the materials and even certification dumps. So if you go here, so this complete folder access you'll be getting. So that's what I have discussed. So, but at least instead of getting all, at least you will get this ABAP for ABAP with SAP 7.5, and where you get the what are the assessment. So this previously done, but we'll be getting every day exercise will be different, assessment is different, and certification dumps, ebooks, and e-learning means like this videos which are provided by the SAP for each of the topic. Let's say ABAP dictionary, classical report, programming. So each of the topic will be having different videos which SAP is provided. So these all materials you'll be getting. And other than this, then e-learning, ebook. So these are different books for ABAP consultant. And then press books, program. Let's say if they have developed some programs, they might have kept here. These are reference programs, you can call it as. So anyway, every day we will creating different programs, and you will be having access, and you will also be able to create the program. That is different thing. These are already provided some kind of repository objects. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll connect on Wednesday, 8 p.m. November 23rd.
Hi, Mallesh.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, how much you now get about the debugging in SAP?
Yeah, that is the basic part, right? Debugging is important thing. So spending for at least minimum 10 to 20% of the time will be spending debugging only. So other than developing the code also, because at least whatever I know debugging aspects, I will completely discuss. So be transparent, like whatever I know, I will give completely. If something is not there, I will tell that it is not. I'm not clear on that. So if something I have to learn, I'll learn and get back. But from my aspect, like whatever till now, as per my experience, whatever I know, I will discuss everything. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if there is no questions, then we can wind up.
Yeah, hi Mallesh. Will we have classes on Saturday, Sunday also?
It all depends on you people. If you are interested, I can take on Saturday, Sunday also. If you are interested, I can take morning, evening. If you want to take every 3 times also, morning, afternoon, evening also, if you want to finish it early. But my plan as per is 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. If you want more classes in a day or more classes in a week or more classes in all 7 days, I can schedule it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Total course duration 3 months or else?
So I mentioned it is around 40 to 50 hours, but definitely it will be more than that. My intention is to finish everything with personally. Everyone I'll take it personally and finish it all the topics.
Okay.
Yeah, don't depend on number of hours, but depends on the how well you understand, how soon you understand, that matters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mallesh,
Yes.
yeah. One more. As we get any live examples in the production systems, like
I
is
can
there
show
any?
you. I can show you the production system which I'm working for the client. I will show you what are the programs I have developed also. Okay.
Okay.
So don't worry on that. Like I will at least show you like the programs which are the minimum 2 to 3 programs, because everything we cannot show because that takes a lot of time. And to be frank, like whatever you try to put it in your resume, I can share it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is the second demonstration. The previous demonstration, they have joined a lot of people. So who were left in that previous discussion, people joined in the second demo. So let's see like who had all joined for the regular classes. Okay. Okay, then I'll wind up now. If no questions, I'll wind up and I'll get back to you later.
Okay, thank you so much, Mallesh.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks everyone. Bye.